Hey everybody, I'm Julie Hullett with Greenhouse Grower with Dr. Allan Armitage here today, and we have put together a series of videos for you guys to talk about some of the varieties that we're seeing in the market. I have a list here, one annual, one perennial, and one shrub that Dr. A does not know about, so I just want to get some of his hot takes because we all know that he knows every plant out there and he's not afraid to share his hot takes. So Dr. A, the first one that I want to throw at you is Coleus. I've seen a lot of Coleus in the market lately. I know there's been a lot of patterns and series with different colors coming out. So what are your thoughts on what you've seen recently?
Well, for anybody growing, using, installing plants, Coleus is a no-brainer. It's easy to propagate for growers. There's a ton of patterns. There's big, short, and we saw some even spectacular things at Cass recently, Julie. I think everybody loves Coleus. Window boxes, beds, containers, no-brainer. Next. That's easy.
I'm glad that that's what you thought because I like Coleus too. I probably bought a few too many for my garden this year, but I'm a
Great,
fan.
great plants.
Okay, the next perennial I wanted to talk about is phlox.
Oh boy, you just hit a nail on the head. I'm always talking about pollinators, natives, and plants that the deer don't go after voraciously, and phlox, but particularly summer phlox. And I think that you're talking about the ones that are upright and flower in the summertime. Again, I can't say enough good things about them. It used to be in the old days where they get a lot of powdery mildew and stuff. The new phlox, they're much better. So if you're installing or gardening, you can get some of the newer phlox, and only new stuff is in the garden center or being offered today. So I think they're fabulous. You have everything you want about a good plant, and there's some like Jenna that, I mean, every butterfly in the entire county seems to go to it. And but they're all great pollinators, great native plants, and boy oh boy, my choice for sure as a perennial for anybody from beginner to veteran.
I do like them a lot too as pollinator plants. When I see them in like a public garden or just out and about in my neighborhood, you're right about the pollinators. They really do swarm around them. And that's something that I like. I'm a fan just to put it in my backyard. I like to have the bees and the butterflies in the area.
But if we're selling a lot of plants out there, Julie, we're marketing who we are, and who we are a green industry doing things that are actually better for the environment. Phlox is just great. It really does all the good things you're talking about.
Yes, I think so too. And then for the shrub that I wanted to get your opinion on, I wanted to talk about azaleas.
Ooh, azaleas. Well, there's that's that's nothing tricky about azaleas, but my goodness, we're seeing it. Well, on the landscape, we see a ton of azaleas. At least it was certainly where I live. I see probably more than where you live, in the southeast versus the Midwest.
Mhm.
But my goodness, talk about a plant that provides that spring flair. Azaleas do all of that. And we have now in the greenhouse business, even not just the woody plant market, lots of people who are kind of trying to market azaleas as plants that can be put out in the fall or and can flower early spring, or maybe even on that shoulder of late spring, or excuse me, late winter, early spring shoulder where you can put these azaleas in. Oh my goodness. I mean, if you can grow azaleas, if your climate allows you to grow azaleas, you got spring in a pocket. You just, it's great, and you gotta love it. And for those people further south, Julie, the native azaleas are even more spectacular. And I say that not because I'm biased to native versus non-native, but the native azaleas, which we call the deciduous azaleas, they lose their leaves in the fall. Oh my, the flowers of those are fragrant and spectacular. So great choice, Azalea. Not one I would have thought of to talk. Great, great.
Yeah, it's really been a treat the couple times that I've been in the South, down like where you are, like around Atlanta, to see the azaleas. It's just nothing like what we have up in Cleveland. And don't get me wrong, like I think we have our benefits. I like living in the Midwest, but God, the azaleas are beautiful down there. So that's really a treat.
That is a treat. Yeah, it is. And oh my gosh, if there's any golfers out there, all you got to do is look at the TV screen, and the Augusta Masters golf course is shown, and oh, there's azaleas everywhere. So no, it's true. And you can grow some in the Midwest, but obviously not quite so easily as in the Southeast.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for your time today, Dr. A. And stay tuned for another video in a couple weeks, and we'll get his hot take on some more varieties.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Julie. This is just great fun.